Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez Williams, and I am making Kaileileia's recipe that she made up several years ago. This is a chicken and bean recipe, and it's oregano mustard, chicken and beans. It's a little creamy, and it is so delicious. We made it when we were staying with a friend that I work with, Sarah, and we made it. Kaileileia made it up. She smelled all the spices. She mixed them together. She decided how much the quantity was going to be. And Sarah, who is a great cook herself and a baker, she said, this is really good. And we agreed, and so much so that we've had it regularly since then. So, we have 2 pounds of chicken and 3 tablespoons of butter. 2 pounds of chicken, 2 tablespoons of butter. I want to mix my chicken with the butter. And then I'm going to add some spices. And then I'm going to add some more spices later after I get the chicken somewhat cooked. So, to the chicken, while the butter is melting, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pink salt. 1 teaspoon of pink salt. 1 teaspoon of pink salt. Tell me where you're watching from. Like, share, heart this video. Save it so you can make it later. And you're going to want to make this one. You're going to want to save this one. I'm telling you, it is so simple and so good. All we had to do to prep for it, Kaileileia and Soraya cut it, was cut the chicken. That's all that we had to do because we already have frozen green beans. If you have fresh green beans, you need to cut those. 1 teaspoon of pink salt, and now a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're going to let this rest of the spices come with the rest of the ingredients so that all of it gets those tasty spices that Kaileileia put together. Tell me if you like green beans. Put green beans in the comments. I would love to know. The girls love green beans, and they're always choosing green beans as one of the veggie options for our meals. And as a result, we have a lot of recipes with green beans. And Kaileileia created this recipe with green beans. All right, but this is a great combination that you probably haven't tried before because I hadn't tried this full combination of these spices before, but she put it together by sniffing out the spices and creating. Tell me if you like to create recipes, put create in the comments. If you like to follow recipes more than you like to create them, put follow in the comments. Or maybe you're a mixture, put mixture in the comments. I like to create. Soraya likes to follow, and Kaileileia likes to create the recipes, and my husband does a mixture. He likes to follow them initially, and then he likes to, after he's made it and read all the reviews of all the recipes, then he'll go in and make something. That was a long time ago when he was cooking regularly. When he was in school and I was working, and he was cooking, and he would go on allrecipes.com and look at all the recipes, or he would find a recipe and then he would read all the reviews, and then he would determine if he was going to use any of those reviews in the way that he was going to make it. So he was definitely a mixture. Tell me what you are. I would love to know. All right, this is starting to cook. Now, if you were cutting green beans yourself, like fresh green beans, then it's great, and you'll probably just need to cook it a little bit longer than what we will. And this would be a great time to cut your green beans while this is cooking. Because we do want our chicken obviously to be cooked, so I will be letting it cook. This is another one-pot meal. Almost all my meals are one-pot meals. Not all of them, but almost all of them. A lot of them. I would say 75% of my meals are one-pot meals. So, because I am all about fast and easy, but so delicious. And I actually hated it when I was a kid. I hated my food touching. Hated it. Really hated it. It wasn't allowed to touch. And I think I probably threw a fit or two if it did. And then I fell in love with Indian food and Ethiopian food and Moroccan food and Thai food, and then I realized, oh, my food can mix my food groups can mix, and it's actually really, really delicious. And so from then on, I liked my food to mix. I even made it mix sometimes, a lot of times, like on purpose. I would mix things. I even ate, so I grew up eating my Cuban abuela's picadillo, which is black beans and rice with picadillo, which is a ground beef dish. And I used to eat it separate, like everything separate. And then I would I saw my dad eating like one of each thing, like a little bit of each part in a bite. And I started to venture out to do that. And then I eventually really liked that, and when I was eating plantains, I was eating that in the bite too. Oh my gosh, so good. Tell me what you like to do. If before, I mean, maybe now that you're having a lot of my one pot meals, I might have converted you to be a food touching person. If you weren't one yet, but what were you as a kid? Could your food touch? Or maybe your culture growing up was that your food touched all the time. It was made to touch. And you enjoyed it that way. All right. Now, this is getting closer. So, thumbs up, hearts, share this video, and give Kaileileia heart for creating this recipe so many years ago, while she was even younger than she is now. I mean, she's 11 now, but I forget how old she was. She must have been 7. Maybe it was like 4 years ago. Maybe it was less than that. And definitely give her tons of hearts. Tell me where you're watching from. What is your temperature like here in your city? Today, here, it got up to like 87. It was supposed to. I think it did. And then it rained a little bit. And I think now we're good to go on our evening walk along the dock. I think so. I think we're going to get to make it. And I bet that maybe the cloud cover is going to make for this beautiful sunset. So I'm really excited about that. I love, 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 love the sunrises and sunsets. Okay. We are getting closer, but I still see like this piece is very undercooked. Let me see if I can move it around. This pot is so big that sometimes I feel like it takes certain parts of it don't get as well touched by the burners as the other ones. All right, we are almost there. Almost there to add more of everything. So we have just green beans. This is one of the most simple one pot meals because it's just 2 main ingredients, and then everything else is like spices and an extra fat or healthy fats. So this is one of the easiest meals, and it's one of the most delicious meals. The whole family loves it. Both girls love it. I mean, Kaileileia developed it, so she kind of has to. Well, she doesn't have to, but she likes it. The girls are actually creating a new. We'll see how far they go with it. How far they want to go with it. I mean, they could go as far as they want, but how far they desire to go with it. But they decided to make my recipes for people locally who want recipes that are high protein, low carb, that they can easily just grab and go. So not meals, but like breads and tortillas and desserts. And they just did a sample plate run with 3 different recipes. And a part of their schooling, we homeschool, world school, unschool. So part of their schooling is that today and yesterday we spent time going through how much does it cost for all of the ingredients per serving within like a bag of almond flour. How much does it cost per serving? What is a serving size? And then determining for the recipe, how much does it cost to make that amount of the recipe, like almond flour. And then how much does it cost to make the whole recipe? And then how much do they want to charge for they don't want to call labor, they want to call it work. And then how much time do they want to include for like cooking, cleaning, and prep time? So they did all this work the last couple of days to determine their initial menu, and they have 5 or 6 people have had a sample plate now. So they might have a lot of, and then they also decided to use their sample plate earnings. I invested in their business today with initial ingredients, and now they got to go shop with initial earnings as an initial incentive. All right. Now, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to add our green beans, and then we're going to add our spices and one other ingredient. I need the scissors to open this. So we're using 24 ounces of green beans, between 20 and 24 ounces of green beans. You can also use fresh green beans. This is like 3 cups of green beans. And we're going to mix these, and then we're going to add some spices, and then we're going to add one last ingredient, and then we're just going to let it saute until everything is cooked. So probably like 10 minutes. The green beans won't take that long to cook, and the chicken is good. So it'll continue to cook as we cook the green beans, and we're good to go. All right. So if you're joining me, we're making Kaileileia's oregano mustard green chicken and green beans, or mustard oregano. I can't remember how I worded it. All right, now we need 1 teaspoon of mustard powder. 1 teaspoon of mustard powder. And then we need 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. And then 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano. 1.5. Here's my 1, here's my 1/2. And then we're going to add more pink salt. So we're going to add 1.5 more teaspoons of pink salt. There's the 1/2. And 1 more of pink salt. And then we have 1 more ingredient, and then we're gonna let it just simmer and cook until it is done. And that's really until the consistency of the green beans and the chicken is fully cooked. It's pretty almost there, fully cooked. So we're adding 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. We already used 2 tablespoons of butter. Those are our healthy fats. There's not a ton of healthy fat in chicken. We're using chicken thighs, which have more healthy fat than chicken breasts. But there's still not a ton of fat in there. So having some healthy fat in this is great. Helps you stay satiated. Fat is important for your for production of hormones. All right, now I'm just gonna let this saute and simmer, and it is done. Outside of that, it's gonna be creamy, but a lot of the liquid is going to, there's a lot of liquid right here. You can't really see it, but it will go away more and more. That is it. Okay, from my house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.